Alright, hello and welcome back to Let's Play yet another no-name MAME game. Today's no-name MAME game is, of course, Miglia, Great 1,000-Mile Rally. Alright, let's jump right in. And already you're seeing we've got classic 50s, 60s kind of racing cars. Let's go with the Ferrari. That is a long course. In fact, is this the Targa Florio? If it is, that is beyond awesome. And that's actually a pretty nice engine noise for like an arcade game. And are you seeing this? This is motion blur in an arcade game. And this is like an arcade game from the 90s or something. This is probably before motion blur was invented. Well, okay, motion blur was invented as soon as the first person invented a sports car, but still, this is like, that's a really nice touch that I have not seen in any other racing game. And, I mean, you're looking at the graphics of this game, and pretty good. The controls, I mean, the controls are solid. I mean, it's, at the end of the day, it's an arcade rally game. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. Well, okay, I mean, they're kind of lacking in realism, but they're pretty sweet as far as playing. So, let's skip on to stage 2, pretending like we were successful. And I'm wondering if this game is actually kind of hard. Okay, maybe we're going a little too slow for motion blur, and I guess it's maybe a little bit to mask the inability of the game to really render like full high speeds. Because, I mean, in actuality, you wouldn't really see the motion blur, you would feel the motion blur as you look around. Although that is a really nice touch. Whoever thought of that, kudos to you. You get a basket of cookies, if I was capable of doing that. And instead of the ramp, we just get the boxes. Still, I mean, like, looking at the graphics of this game, sure, it's like that pseudo 3D sprite, pre-rendered sprites that they were going for back in the 90s, but they get the job done, and they're actually like nice, bright, colorful. Oh, good. Man, that was pretty tough. Just 0.2 of a second off of the record. I feel so much gypped. Oh, it keeps track of how far we've gone. Nice. Oh man, you just gotta dig that sound. They really went all out for this one. I really feel like this was a labor of love. Oh man. And you've got that like old sliding things, because it's like cars from the 50s, 60s. It's like you were supposed to slide them. Slide them all around. Not like the crazy grip monsters of today, where it's like you cannot slide those. In fact, have you ever seen an F1 car? You ever tried drifting in an F1 car? It literally cannot be done. But it's like, you see F1 cars from about this era, and it's like, there's basically nothing keeping it on the track. I mean, sure, you've got gravity on it, but it's like, it's F1, it's basically this car. It's going crazy. Let's see, so we played as this one? The Jaguar. As the Jaguar, or the Jaguar. It's a little arbitrary which one you choose. And the cars even sound different. And it's like you're looking at it, it's even longer. Just kind of to simulate, and it's even going crazy. I assume real-life Jaguars aren't quite as bad in handling. Although I think it's trying to simulate, like, when you're turning, you shouldn't turn all the way, or you shouldn't accelerate while you're turning, or, I don't know. It's weird, because sometimes you do turn on a dime, sometimes you drift and slide like a madman. So, I don't know. I mean, you play around with the controls, and it just starts feeling, like, more and more realistic. Like, a bit more realistic than it should, by all rights, be. Oh, good. There's a goal. It's actually, well, I feel like, yeah, and especially too when you've got like this many stages, it's probably gonna be a little bit this stage is going to be a little bit varied in difficulty. And if you remember, like, the guys in the beginning, they were holding out a Ferrari flag, while the guys now are holding out a British flag. I wonder, yeah, if this really is supposed to be like the Targa Florio. Florio, I don't know. Always look like A's. So I'm trying to tap the button, which, not realistic in real life. Never tap the accelerator, but working in this video game. Just crashing through the environmental. Whoa! Oh, wow. Because, I mean, most rally games, it's like you can't really go off-road. But in this game, it's like you can cheat. You can go so far off-road. You can cheat. Oh, that is a nice touch. These people knew what they were doing. And we got the Porsche flags. Nice touches all around. The Deutschmark flags. Nice, nice. It's all there. Oh, wow. How is this... How have I never heard of this game? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's, like, Italian or something, but... I mean, it has an English subtitle. It's gotta mean something. Whoa, almost crashed into that car. That's no good. And the cars really do kind of feel significantly different from each other, because it's like you see this Porsche, it's kind of a slow, heavy beast. But it's like versus the Ferrari, which was just quick and nimble. Even the Jaguar wasn't as bad as this. Oh my god, it's like driving a sledgehammer. And I'm pretty sure if I crash into something, it'll be a sledgehammer. Poor guy. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my god. These people know what they're doing. Let's take this Alpha for a spin. Oh man. Those engine noises. That's really good. And what the heck was that car? It looked like a frigging, like, Phantomobile or something. At least Batman style. Batmobile. Kind of kills the realism when you've got, like, the same 3 or 4 cars repeated over and over again. And I mean, yeah, sometimes developers do that because of, like, space constraints. Like, they can't be bothered to make, like, a million different cars. But it's like, did you not see that vehicle select? I feel like I've played this one before. Maybe they're gonna cheat and start having, like, all of the courses start feeling the same. Or maybe I accidentally played the same one over. Oh yeah. And I mean, I can kind of understand that, like... But, did you see that vehicle entry screen? It's amazing. They've got, like, every car you can imagine. So why can't they, like, have them more? Like, more variety as you're going along. Another Alpha. Ooh, back to the nice grass. Cannot imagine. Can you imagine just playing this, like, all the way through? Oh, wow, this guy's a screecher. Oh, man. That would just be surreal. It would just, like, spend a whole afternoon just driving throughout the, Italian countryside and just some arcade game. In fact, plus, oh, man. Plus, too, you, like, travel out to your arcade, your local arcade. I swear to God, I've played this one before. Maybe not. It can't be the same because it started out with grass, and the other one wasn't grassy in the beginning, but I swear there's still that same off-road section. Of course, I'm pretty sure the developers didn't intend for you to, like, almost made it. I'm pretty sure the developers didn't intend for you to, like, just keep throwing in credits and, like, trying to go all the way. I didn't see who made this one. Oh, France. I wonder if Peugeot was even invented back then. Well, I know pinball was invented back then. That is really weird. And are you sure the tracks aren't repeating? I'm getting deja vu all over again. Well, I don't remember being in a city center, so I guess this is technically unique. Although then again, it's a wow. I feel like I've seen that turn before. And I feel like I've seen that turn before. And I feel like I've seen this city before. I mean, oh, branching. But if, alright, so, okay, let's be realistic. It's a little too much to ask of them to program in, like, the entire route and have it be entirely unique. Especially, too, when you realize that it's, like, not everybody's gonna play even half as far as this. That was a Bugatti. Bugatti. Man, they even spell it with a Y. Times have changed. Okay. Well, we'll skip on ahead to this. 3, 2, 1, go. So you see in the map screen, it's pretty long compared to the other ones, so let's see if this is a lot longer than the other ones. I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. And also, too, maybe it's because you're, like, flying all the way through the city, and it's like, you're driving a lot faster through the city, which, mind you, is very, very unsafe, and that's why they probably don't do this anymore. But, this was back in the 60s. People were more dangerous back in the 60s. That's why you have fewer relatives from the 60s. Check it out. It's a proven fact. Man, you can make the car sound awful by tapping the accelerator. Not even. Oh yeah, no, I'm way over time. I feel like they're kind of cheating though by making the finish line like so much farther out. And I mean, I'm pretty sure they like went through all these tracks just to make sure that they were hard enough to keep the players still feeding in credits. Is it a peace sign? Well, oh wow, that those turns, that just did not feel right. That is not kosher. I don't know. Well, I'm starting to see why. Ooh, that's nasty. He got taken out of the race, but he decided to take someone with him. I'm starting to see why I never heard of this one. I mean, it makes a really good initial impression, but it kind of loses it. Because, I mean, one, it's really hard, and two, you don't really get that visceral thrill so much as you do in that first stage. Like, all the other stages are a lot more challenging, so you don't ever really get places where you can just drive forward and just let loose and start going the super speed mode. I mean, it's not quite as cool as, like, your first impression would lead you to believe. Although I feel that's, like, a little bit true of a lot of arcade games. Where it's, like, you first fire it up, and then it's, like, the most exciting thing ever. And then you play it a bit more, and you start learning its mechanics. And then it gets a bit more exciting as you, like, finally figure out, like, how to play. And then you start, like, getting good at it, and you realize there isn't a whole lot to the arcade game. It's pretty much just that. I guess that's really only true of, like, some sort of either bad games or, like, a certain type of bad game where it's, like, they rely a bit more on flash in the pan and first impressions than, lasting gameplay to hook you. But, I don't know. I mean, this game, it's worn its welcome, but after a while, once you set out on a journey, you gotta finish it. That's just how things work. You didn't see Odysseus just kind of calling it quits halfway through, just saying, "Oh, it's scary and I don't have my wife." No, he persevered on. And then, I don't know, did a bunch of questionable things, but he made it back in the end. And that's what we'll do. We'll make it back in the end. Oh, that's stage 1, huh? Oh, we made it back. Well, let's relive stage 1. Just pretending like we're going on a whole nother lap. Pretending like it's the game's new again. Oh my god. And I don't see why they can't have more, like, just wide open spaces in the rest of the other maps. Just because, like, there's nothing quite like that first moment when you realize that this game has motion blur. And then you start seeing it, and then you just love it. I don't know why they don't do that. I mean, it seems like they went through a lot of trouble, time, and effort to, like, create some new novel effect that, like, no other arcade game does. Why didn't they abuse it for all it's worth? It is still impossible. I'm still just as bad as I was the first time around. Continue more. Nope. I mean, it looks so awesome. In fact, I bet if you saw this in like a arcade machine, well, okay, it doesn't. It's weird because it's like sometimes intros just aren't quite as awesome as the game itself. Well, that was Miglia, Great 1,000-Mile Ride. Bit of a gem in the rough, but at the same time also a bit of a rough in the gem. Still, I think it was a cool game and it brought something new to the table that was cool. So, and on that note, this cat's got a scat.